everyone, welcome to the Armour All Summer Grill here at the beautiful Currumbin Beach Surf Club. And Stevie J, let's talk about Nissan Motorsport. They debuted in 2013. They got one race win, courtesy of James Moffat at Winton. Rick Kelly, the highest placed finisher of the forecast squad, in 14th in the championship. How do you see them progressing in 2014? Can they become regular winners?
No, well, it's they did a very, very good job in 2013 from where they started. Nissan and Erebus were the only two teams that had to develop an engine from scratch to compete with the engines that the Ford and Holden teams have been developing for the last 10 or 15 years. So it was always going to be a big ask. The gains that they made throughout the year were very significant. Rick Kelly to finish 14th in the championship, top half of the field. He had I think 12 top 10 results.
Yeah.
And I think for a brand new team running 4 cars, that was a very good effort. Nissan Motorsport and Nismo are going to be working extremely hard to bridge that gap in the off season through the summer for those to those cars, whether it be Red Bull and FPR, etc. So they don't want to be back in the field like they have been for the year. They do want to be up there winning races. So they've got a lot of work cut out to get back up there, but they've certainly got the resources and they've certainly got the know-how to do it. We've just got to see if they make the right decision. Yeah,
absolutely. Well, we talked to team driver Todd Kelly about Nissan's chances in 2014.
Todd, obviously a very big task, bring these 4 Altimas to the track this year. How do you sort of sum up the year that's been?
Well, it's been a huge challenge and a huge effort from the guys to get through our very first year with a new manufacturer. It's gone pretty quick, and when you look back, it seems like only yesterday that we were at Clipsal and we only just made it with enough engines and cars and parts to actually go racing after the whole design and production of everything that's in and on and under these cars. So to sum it up, I think it's been an outstanding year for our first year, given that everything was new and mostly designed in-house. We've had a few failures along the way, which we've addressed and improved. Reliability is outstanding at the moment, and the cars are getting quicker and quicker. So, first year to top that off with a front row and a win at Winton with the guys is probably more than we could have expected, and next year's going to be bigger and better for us.
There's a lot of talk through the early phase of the year about the engine, and then a lot of attention, at least in the media, switched to aero. I guess the crux of it is that you need everything right in this game to be right up the front.
Yeah, you certainly do need everything spot on, and I would say we're probably about 80% of the way there with the engine now, and we've got a few improvements which we expect to see early to mid next year, which will have us hopefully right on the money. And on the aero side, we're hoping for some modifications for next year as well. And if both of those things come off, the cars are good around the corners, and they handle well. And if we tune them right, we get a good result out of them. So if we can get those two things sorted out by mid next year, we should be right on the money with them.
Is there any remorse for being one of the first ones to drag in a new manufacturer? Because it's probably been more difficult this year bringing in a new player than it would be in the future.
Yeah, everything really come at once, the whole car of the future conversion plus a new manufacturer, and things are extremely hard when you're a pioneer of something, and we did bite off quite a bit to try and chew with a completely new engine developed in-house. It had never been run in a series like this before, so huge challenge, but it's one of those things you need to get out there and have a crack, and I think we've gone through the hard part now for sure, and it's just going to get easier and easier, and the bulk of the work's been done, so it's only that last few little things that we need now, and these cars are going to be pretty fast next year.
And driver-wise, you brought in 2 new guys this year in Michael Caruso and James Moffat. You're one of the best qualified team owners to critique their drivers because you're driving yourself. What's the report card on those guys and your own season as well?
Yeah, we couldn't be happier with those guys. At the end of the day, they've given us a 1-2 finish in our very first season, and in general, they're just good guys to get along with. We work well as a group. The 4 drivers is always a little bit of rubbing because we seem to end up with a lot of Nissans around each other at most race meetings, and given that, there's a lot of potential for a bit of aggro here and there, but we've been able to manage that very well, and that they're 2 great guys, and for myself it's been a I guess an average year as far as DNFs, championship-wise. I prefer not to look at that and where the points are at, because it's been a bit rough. But I've had 8 or so DNFs this year, which has been tough. But when things are good, it's it's good to get in the car and try and bring it up to these young blokes. And when you look at the stats of where we all end up in qualifying and races and stuff, those guys certainly push us up to the next level, and it's been a really good competition between us.
So overall, if you get these last things right in terms of the aero and a bit more engine work, do you think you can be winning on a semi-consistent basis next year?
To win on a consistent basis in this category is, next to unheard of nowadays. Even the best teams in pit lane find themselves back in the field from round to round. It's just so close and so competitive. I don't think we'll see a team that wins 75% of the races anymore, but we certainly are confident that we'll be a team that is winning next year. Once we get the aero tied up and that last little bit of engine, there's no reason why we can't roll out and get a good batch of trophies in the cabinet next year. If you look at what we lose at a lot of the tracks, especially with longer straights this year, that's costing us huge, so next year should be a lot better.
Well, that's a wrap for today. Thanks, Stevie J.
Pleasure, no worries.
Hope you're all enjoying your summer break, and don't forget to stay tuned to speedcafe.com for more of the Armour All Summer Grill. Each and every day on the Armour All Summer Grill,
You've got the chance to win one of these, an Armour All gift pack.
for your chance to win, simply click subscribe on speedcafe.com.
And congratulations to today's winner.
Armour All Custom Shield. Defend against paint chips, scratches, bugs and tar. Easy to apply, easy to remove. Scientifically formulated to resist the weather and elements for up to 3 months. Armour All Custom Shield, available now.